Taurus, March energies are here. Let's have an aligned astro chat about it and figure out how you can make them work for you. Hello all, I'm Stacey the Black Feather Intuitive and welcome to your Transformational Tarot for Taurus for the month of March. Taurus, this is for your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And this is also a great video for people who have a Taurus in their life that they love. So we are going to be pulling an overarching theme card for you today from the Sacred Creators Oracle from Chris Ann. And then Jamie Sawyer's The Felt Tarot was the deck that called to me for you guys. So without further ado, let's get to it. All right, guys. So before we kind of get into the reading, let's shuffle up these bad boys and get an overarching theme. And while I'm shuffling, just want to say I'm so excited. Please click the join button and check out how you can become a fabulous Phoenix with me. I've got 3 different membership tiers. YouTube, after 11 years, finally decided that I was worthy of that algorithm. So we'd love to keep the conversation going. Okay, Taurus. Oh, this is fantastic. Very makes very much sense in terms of your astrology too. In flow with money. So March is really going to be about laying foundation and groundwork. I feel there's going to be a lot of extra focus on finance, on where you're getting your money, how you're getting that money, who's giving you the money, when you're going to be bringing that into your space, how you're going to be divvying it up. For some of you, I'm hearing that there's going to be a real emphasis and focus on where you've put your money. Maybe there's going to be some diversification of your investments. For some of you, there may even be an investment in property this month. I really feel like the energy of March for you guys is really about the accumulation of your wealth, or the accumulation of what you're going to need moving forward in order to be able to continue to live the life that you're wanting to live, or sustain what you've created. I also am really drawn to the green here in this card, and I feel like the green it's connected to the heart chakra, and I feel like there are going to be some heart-related issues. This could be physical for some of you, heart palpitations, needing to go to the doctor, that kind of thing, just to check some things out. But I'm also seeing an expansion of the heart space. And this very likely is going to be in connection to, do I feel aligned with how I'm making money, how I'm in flow with money in relation to my heart space? So some of you may be realizing, okay, I used to enjoy doing this thing and I got a lot out of doing this thing, but now I don't feel heart aligned with it any longer. And so that is going to lead you to seeking out a new opportunity, a fresh opportunity that is going to be very heart aligned for you. Okay, let's dive in. You in the present moment, where are you right now in your transformational journey? What part of you is shifting, rising, or dissolving? Okay. Let's check this out. Justice. Wow. So I really feel, Taurus, like you're seeking out a lot of balance. You're seeking balance where there has not been balance. You're seeking balance in an earthquake. This has been a challenge for you. And you know what? I want to say you've kind of worn it well. You've held on strong. You've managed to, stay upright, regardless of some of the things that you're dealing with, some of the experiences that you're having to face. But I'm also feeling that now is the time for you to also separate the wheat from the chaff. And the Justice card to me often indicates a level of detachment that is required in order to, get to the other side, or, get to a resolve. And this month, I'm really feeling like you're going to be kind of employing a little more detachment. Now, this could be emotional detachment that is required so that you can feel more comfortable and confident in, making a decision and moving forward, rather than, being worried about what everybody else's needs are, that you're just kind of saying, okay, I've taken everything into consideration and this is my, as a judge would, this is my ruling. and this is what stands, and we're moving forward from here. But I'm also feeling here like this could be a physical detachment experience as well, where you're recognizing I can no longer physically continue down this path. You know, it could be a health journey. I can no longer keep doing these things to myself. I'll use myself as an example. My body does not like cheese. I love cheese. My ego loves cheese. My mouth and my taste buds love cheese. My body does not like cheese. If I overdo it, I can cheat every so often and it's not too bad. My body's like, okay, I forgive you this, and we can get through this. But if I cheat 2 or 3 days in a row, my body gets mad, right? So then I need to physically detach from the desire to just continue to eat cheese. Okay. So just throwing that out there, it may be a silly analogy, but hopefully you're picking up what I'm putting down. So there's going to be a level of detachment in your life that you're facing. It could be in the physical, it could be in the emotional, it could be in the energetic, it could be in the financial, cutting your losses and moving on to something else. It could be mental, cutting yourself off of something or someone, a situation that is causing a lot of rumination and anxiety. Either way, or any way you slice it, you are the judge and jury in this situation. So for some of you, there may be an element of taking back your power, recognizing where you've been giving your power away to another person to make decisions for you, where you're saying, okay, that's just not going to work for me. And so I'm going to make these decisions for myself. Catalyst, what's fueling or hindering this transformation? Is this resistance or rocket fuel? Ooh, we got the temperance. Interesting. So temperance, it's interesting. I was talking about balance. You're seeking balance in your life. Temperance is balance, tolerance, and alignment. It's also alchemy in so many different ways. Here's what I'm feeling. Temperance is yours if you choose it. Like, you can detach, you can make choices for yourself without having it be harsh. Temperance adds a gentleness to something. It adds a softness to something. It says, take a breath. Yes, this horrible thing has happened, or yes, this challenging situation has plagued you, and you've got a difficult or an uncomfortable decision to make. But we can make it, in the spa, with you sitting in the hot tub and being served coconut water or cucumber water. It doesn't have to be everything has to be so hard. You can find ways to bring a little more gentility to your approach. So when we talk about this being the catalyst, I feel like this is what you're seeking. You're seeking some gentleness. You're seeking to, I want to say, not be coddled, but like just be cared for a little bit. Like, I know I have this decision to make. I know that this falls in my jurisdiction, or it falls in my, level of responsibility. I'm down for that. I'm not shirking that, but I could really use a little bit of time and space to be able to make this happen. And I feel like that's what this is kind of coming about. So when we talk about this as a catalyst, you're going to hit a point, Taurus, where so many people are going to be coming at you, and you're just going to say, like, stop. I don't want to hear another thing from another person. I'm going to go, either I'm going to go by myself, somewhere to think, or I'm going to go somewhere where I'm talking to somebody that doesn't have any skin in the game, so that I can get some perspective, on an objective perspective on the choice that I am making. There are all these eyes in the feathers, and so it makes me think of third eye, right? The third eye energy. Don't forget to add that third eye energy into your process. That intuitive space is there to help you. You don't always, yes, you're being called to stand up, make some choices for yourself that are going to affect other people as well. The choices you make need to be your own, but you can reach out and ask for assistance and ask for help, and help will be provided. Help will be provided. Okay, deep root. What deep belief, wound, or soul contract is driving this transformation under the surface? Wow, Taurus, Page of Wands. The complete desire to escape your life a little bit, to find enthusiasm for something new, to bring some enthusiasm into your world, the desire to see through to the end these really incredible visions that you have had for yourself for quite some time. This is a month where you're going to be invited to or challenged to do some harder things, to accept a challenge, to stop playing small, to step up in a bigger way. I feel like not so much conflict as much as confrontation is going to be a part of this month for you, in terms of like, I have an idea. I'm kind of going against the boss with this idea, but I feel so strongly that this idea is the right course of action that I risk it. You know, I'm going to go against the boss because I know it's the right thing to do. So trusting your process. Page of Wands has a lot of enthusiasm, has a lot of fire and a lot of energy to move forward, and gets the job done. So I feel like you can lean into this energy to make what you're exploring more enjoyable. And through the enjoyment of it is your confidence. You have more confidence in it. And I feel like your boss, at the end of the day, when it's done and the result is the result that they want, the boss isn't going to care how you got it. The boss is going to say, okay, good job, do that again. So have confidence in pursuing your enthusiasm, right? Because your enthusiasm is what's going to kind of seal the deal. This is your what's dying away. What part of you is falling away? What role, pattern, or identity has run its course? Yeah, having to make a choice or a decision. I know we talked about you having to make a decision here, but I feel like it's making a final decision based on something that you've been thinking about for a while, or that you've needed to you've maybe been putting it off. And part of it is you guys have been putting it off because you're worried about how everybody else is going to receive it or take it. And now that you've made the choice, it's like, okay, I've chosen my direction. I've chosen my path. Let's do this. So I want to say what's dying away is indecision. What's dying away is having, two or more paths to choose from. The choice has been made. So you're moving ahead. You're moving forward. And I want to say with this Two of Wands energy, especially coming after the Page of Wands, the plan is already set out. The plan is in motion. So now it's about being in flow with that, accepting your choice, leaning into it, committing to that path, and saying, all right, whatever happens now, it's supposed to happen because my angels and guides are supporting me along this. I made the choice. I had the right to make this choice. Now let's do this. Highest potential. This is your highest phoenix potential. What can rise from the ashes? What is your soul calling you toward? This is your breakthrough energy. Interesting. So we talked about being in flow with money. Six of Pentacles is definitely, I want to say, debt, getting out of debt, receiving from a financial perspective, receiving what you need. This can be contracts, signing for a loan, receiving a loan, or maybe giving a loan. Receiving gifts, receiving monies owed to you. And what I'm feeling here very strongly is that this is what you're setting yourself up for this month, is to always be in the flow of the money. Any contracts that you sign this month, have people kind of do a once over, like have another set of eyes, review the contract before you sign it. Because I feel like you don't want to shortchange yourself. You don't want to miss a single coin that is owed to you. I'm also feeling here when we talk about what your soul is calling you towards, this is the give and the take. This is the generosity. This can also be stinginess in a lot of ways. And I feel like you're kind of releasing that. Your soul is calling you to say, trust in the process. Trust that you've got all the things that you need to be in flow with money, to be stable. You're setting up that stability right now, or you are maintaining that stability that is already there. Don't waste the worry. Understand that you are in harmony, balance, and alignment, and that all is exactly as it is supposed to be. You have the Temperance working on your behalf to help you to navigate these waters. Now step into the enthusiasm of it all and trust that these coins are going to continue to flow your way. I'm also hearing for some of you, not all of you, but for some of you, there is going to be a gift of money, a pile of money that has been owed to you for some time. It's going to come back to you. So, if you lent money out to a friend, this is the month where the friend is going to pay you back. If you, had a loan that you've been working on, that loan is coming due. You're going to see the light at the end of the tunnel. You're going to be able to pay that loan off. If you're needing a loan, you're going to receive that loan. You're going to, have what it is that you need. I almost want to say this feels like luck, like very auspicious energy. And I love that this is what you're kind of stepping into. This is that highest Phoenix potential that you're stepping into, is definitely having all the things that you need and even some of the things that you want. Are you rich? Are you wealthy? Are you able to just kind of like turn it all off and quit your job and, move to the Caribbean or whatever? Maybe not necessarily, but I feel like you're going to have everything that you need to sustain you, and you can grow from this. There's going to be something that you can grow from. What's emerging just around the corner? What energy or experience is coming in to support the next phase? Another wand. Wow, check that out. So, Knight of Wands. For some of you, I'm feeling like there is a figure in your life, a being in your life, could be living, could be crossed over, a loved one in spirit, that was a leader, somebody that you really felt you could trust, somebody that, always seemed to have the right answer at the right time, or always seemed to know what the right next step to do would be. And I keep seeing that this individual is either going to show back up in your life, or you're going to receive information, messages from this individual that's going to point you in the right direction. This month, I feel for you guys, is very much a soul-based month where you're reconnecting to different passions that you've had, but also letting go of passions that no longer light your fire and float your boat. There's a changing of the guard, almost, is what I'm feeling here. And the King of Wands is going to say, own your sovereignty, own your agency. Whatever you choose, the path that you've chosen, I'm coming in to make it happen. But you've got to have some skin in the game as well. Don't doubt yourself. Commit to this path, and I will bring you what it is that you need. King of Wands is the entrepreneurial card. So even if you're not in entrepreneurial land, what I'm feeling is this is an individual who, was always able to make it on their own, always able to figure something out. Even when the chips were down, they were resourceful enough that they were able to come up with something else. And they did it with charm. They did it with aplomb. They did it with a great sense of enthusiasm, right? We talked about that here too, that enthusiasm energy. So what's coming up next, just around the corner for you, I feel, is a powerful ally to help you get to where it is that you need to be. Wow, that's exciting. You in this process, how are you navigating this transformation? Are you resisting, flowing, grieving, or boldly rising? Let's check this one out. Oh, interesting. Okay, so there's some resistance here. I feel like you're dealing with some patterns and cycles, maybe some coping mechanisms that are seeping in while all of this other goodness is opening up. Maybe this is a value and worth thing. I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. Maybe this is fear of that confrontation that we talked about, not wanting to confront or being worried about what other people are thinking about the fact that you're making this choice and this call. This is insecurity within yourself. And I feel like you want to really pay attention to this, because the devil, even though it is our shadow side and all of those things, it is also the rebel. And the rebel encourages us to beat to the tune of our own drum. And I feel like that's exactly what March is about for you. Beating to the tune of your own drum, creating the new path, seeing the pathway forward, and understanding this is how I'm going to build my security, my serenity, my financial abundance and flow. March is about setting you up for success for the times to come. And sometimes we need a little bit of that rebel, because you've got a lot of other people with their opinions. And you have a lot of other history that shows you, well, in the past I did this and it worked, so I'm going to do this again. I feel like there's a new call to action here that, yes, you can borrow from the past, but we are in a new energy. We are in a new energy entirely. And that means what you're building, what you're creating, the adventure that you're taking yourself on, is going to require some new things, some things that you haven't thought of, or things that you've never been exposed to before. That's the whole point. We don't know what we don't know until we know it. And then when we know better, we can do better, or we can apply things differently. And it's not even so much about better as much as this is different. This is a different experience. This is a new path that I'm on. And the new is the point. So accepting that the new is the point, not leaning on the past and just automatically falling into what worked in the past. It's about being the rebel and seeing what feels right. What do I really want to do? What feels good to me right now? Not what should I do? What do I want to do? Circles of support. Who or what is influencing your transformation right now? And is it positive or negative? Ooh, I love this. The star card. A lot of you have some friends that have some really cool visions, really cool approaches to life, perspectives on life, and sort of what they're seeing as potentials and possibilities for you. And so I feel like this is a month to not be afraid to share your thoughts, your hopes, your dreams, with your closest friends, and to be open to just kind of receiving their perspective on it. Now, their perspective and a cup of coffee, a couple bucks gets you a really cheap cup of coffee, right? Like, everyone's got an opinion. It doesn't mean that has to be the thing that you follow. But there is a certain element here of reflection. Those good friends know you in a way that maybe you don't fully know yourself, or they see you in a way that you don't fully see yourself because you're in the body, not outside the body. And so their perspective has a lot to offer. Their perspective could really be super helpful to you in this moment. So I really feel like your support system is really your friends, your friendships. And let them in a little bit, share some of what you're thinking, what you're feeling, some of those inspired thoughts that you're wanting to act upon, talk about, the devil energy, the rebel, what you really want to do versus what you think you should do, or what you're supposed to do. And pay attention to what's reflected back to you. I feel like your friends are going to have a very unique perspective on your situation, and they may inspire you to kind of branch out from what you're doing. It feels very positive. Hopes and fears. Who are you dreaming of becoming, and what scares you about actually doing it? Oh, interesting. So, Taurus, I feel like for a lot of you, there's been this energy of stop the world, I want to get off. I can relate to this because I'm a Virgo sun, Gemini moon, and Libra rising. I've been in hermit mode since July of 2025. Very unusual for me to be in such a long phase hermit energy. So I feel you in this. What I'm feeling is this is what you're craving. You're craving, a little bit of a break, a little bit of freedom, a little bit of less responsibility, and more just kind of going out and doing your own thing, focusing on yourself. But the fear is that you'll never come out of the cave, right? And like I said, I can relate to you because that has kind of been my experience here. Now, I feel that I am starting to, want to come out of the cave again. So I assure you, it will happen. It will occur. And, don't resist it. Allow yourself to be in whatever you're going to be. But this is a self-awareness journey. There is a big shift and a big change that is happening within you. You are shedding an old version of self, and you're embracing and embodying a new self. And it's just in the process of forming right now. So yeah, that self-awareness journey is crucial to your success. And perhaps your life circumstances are of such a nature that you're finding it difficult to be able to create time to do this self-exploration. I want to say you don't necessarily have to do the self-exploration completely by yourself. You can do it in amongst a crowd, because that hermit's journey is a deeply personal, deeply intimate journey that only you can take because it's inside you. It's within you. And so approach things a little bit differently. See your interactions with others as the mirror to help you understand yourself. Learning about yourself, learning about different patterns and cycles, learning about, the shadow that you actually like, that you want to incorporate, not the shadow that, everybody says, oh, you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. I feel like you're just letting go a lot of expectations of others and societal expectation. And that is your fear. Your fear is that maybe you won't come out of this, but you will. You absolutely will. Take a different approach to the exploration of that hermit. All right, this is your outcome. Who will you be on the other side of this journey if you stay on course in March? What is the result of embracing the full death and rebirth cycle? Oh, interesting. 8 of Pentacles. So a new sense of work, a new sense of direction, a new educational path. This is the card of mastery. And so I feel that this is you mastering life. Now, this could be the school of life. This could be an actual higher education, exploration, going back to school. This could be taking a course or a class to enhance your skills. Whatever this is, it's important for you to understand that it is about mastery. And whatever it is that you are here to master on a conscious individual level, as well as on a soul level, March is going to show you the way. March is going to make that path clear so that you won't be guessing as to who I'm choosing to become and what is available to me. It's going to present itself and you're going to say, okay, this is the path that I'm taking. Yes, there is a big learning curve for you here, regardless of whether it is a school of life or an actual course that you're taking or learning about yourself and relationships. There definitely is a learning curve here. And what I want to encourage you to consider is taking the approach of that student energy, that page of one's energy. Be enthusiastic about it. Don't get attached to the outcome. Don't say, oh, it's a success only if this happens or only if it happens in this way. Shed all of that and say, the mastery is the path as well as the destination. And I don't need to know the specifics of it. I just need to be in it. I need to be present and in the moment. And that is how I'm mastering my craft. That's how I'm bejeweling and bedazzling everything that I'm learning. And that is how others are going to eventually see me. Not that that's why you're doing it, but I'm just getting that as kind of a last piece of information and guidance. So I hope that makes some sense. All right, Taurus, that is your transformational tarot reading for March. And as always, sending a lot of love and support your way. You know where I'm at if you need some guidance and assistance as you are processing and navigating these waters in March. I am here. Click on the link below to book a session. Like, subscribe, click the bell, share this information with anyone that you feel could benefit from this type of guidance. My heartfelt goal is to grow this channel so that I can reach all people who feel called and drawn to work with me. And I cannot do that without you. So I'm grateful for that. Until we see you for another episode of Black Feather Code Tour, Divining a VIP Life, sending you guys lots of love and support. We'll see you on the flip side and transform well.